I mentioned the legal fights. Look, let's be real clear. We're going to need more lawyers. Republicans are going to try to change the laws again. The Supreme Court had the hearing today talking about this weird concept, this legal concept that state legislatures can pretty much do whatever they want with elections. The fact that this thing has gotten all the way to the Supreme Court, look, they've got people on that Supreme Court who believe in that crap. And so we better understand the battle that lies ahead for elections. I keep saying this, and I've been saying this for years, which is why my book is White Fear, How the Browning of America is Making White Folks Lose Their Minds. Okay? That was today's Supreme Court hearing. This is the train that's coming. The train is coming, and they see it. And they are afraid to death of this train running them over. And so we have, and look, I don't know how long it's going to be there, but we're going to have a 6-3 conservative Supreme Court. And so we need to understand we have to stay in war mode. Let me say this again. People, I know somebody's like, oh, Roland, yeah, that's just you're hyping it. No, we have to literally stay in war mode because they are going to try everything to narrow the voting because they see the train that's coming.
No doubt about it. Things are changing in this country very quickly. The primary issue that the country was built on and about, frankly, was race. And so therefore, when you're getting ready to be overrun by people that don't look like you, or in your mind, people that don't think like you, even though I think that most people have a lot of things in common, there's been a divide and conquer tactic that has happened since the beginning, since going back to slavery, right? And so let's keep everybody separated. Let's keep people that have a lot in common not talking to each other. And now, because we're getting ready to be outnumbered, let's deal with it from a vote standpoint. You're right about the judicial side in terms of the lawyers and the things that need to happen. This Supreme Court case is quite scary. Basically, it would basically say that there are no checks and balances. If it comes out the way they want it, there will be no checks and balances on what a state legislature does. And so therefore, the state legislature in Georgia, for instance, 4 years from now in John Ossoff's election, can say, well, we don't like what DeKalb County's doing. We don't like what Fulton County is doing. And therefore, we will take all of that from them. The counties will have no say, and we'll do it the way we want to. And if we don't like what they send us, we will not certify the votes. There are people that will say, oh, man, it really can't happen that way. No, absolutely. The idea that this is being entertained at all at the Supreme Court and that it is not a foregone conclusion that they won't dismiss it out of hand lets you know where we are. And so to your point, we absolutely do have to squeeze the juice out of the orange and get as many voters going as we can. We were very fortunate yesterday, listen, for all the great work Sister Holly did and all the great work that was done on the ground and all that was done in the last 10 years by Stacey Abrams and her ilk. At the end of the day, we had a terrible, terrible candidate. And that really, really helped. So that some people, even the first time around that voted for Brian Kemp, wouldn't vote for him. Republicans, no less. And they may have held their nose and voted for him the second time, but the Senate wasn't hanging in the balance. And so we were very, very good, but we were a little lucky too. And so because of that, to your point, we do have to plant those seeds now, create a culture of voting where people vote just as commonly as they do every other mandatory life function. It's not we'll do X or Y or Z, and if we feel good, if we're motivated, if what he's saying twinkles our toes, then we'll go vote. No, we have to vote like our life and our existence depends on it as it pertains to the Supreme Court because we didn't go vote, because we're sexist, because et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We've got a 6-3 court that does not do and will not do the will of the people, or will not acknowledge the will of the people, or maybe even the legislatures or local governments for decades to come. And so we cannot minimize this, to their point.
Dr. Larry Walker, assistant professor, University of Central Florida. Larry, again, I think you enjoy victory. You take a breath. The organizers and everybody, they get some sleep. Folks like us get some sleep. You get some rest. But again, they're coming back. The GOP is pissed. I mean, Laura Ingraham, boy, last night, she was just foaming at the mouth on Fox News angry if they lost again. And this is going to continue. And we need to be prepared for the vicious assault on voting. Remember, they changed the law in 2020 in Texas, and Trump won. So these people, they know what's coming. And I just really think we got to be ready. All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Checks and money orders go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland at RolandSMartin.com.